Hey everyone, welcome to Phoenix Tech. Today we're going to be checking out these Nuraphones from Nura. Now these have been out for a while. I actually backed them on Kickstarter. I just checked some dates in 2016. They got delivered at the end of 2017. I remember I got them just before I went on holidays. So I've had them now for about a year and a half. I'll run through some very high level overview of the specs and everything, but I don't want to go too nerdy into the details. I kind of just want to do this review as somebody who's had these for a year now, give you my opinion, what were they like when they came out, do they still hold up a year later, that kind of thing. So yeah, at a glance, these are Bluetooth active noise cancelling headphones, but the killer feature that they've got is they do a listening test. So you pop them on, you pair them with the Nura app, and it plays a bunch of tones into your ears, and your ears give the app a bunch of responses, and then the app kind of figures out what's the optimum sort of listening profile for you. So it's going to be different for every single person. The analogy that Nura use is they're kind of like contact lenses for your ears. The technology works great. You can straight away you have this like flat listening profile, and then you jump into your custom profile, and it's just absolutely night and day. Some people have been like, well, maybe the flat profile sucks and it's a bit of a sham when you go into yours, but I've given these headphones to a bunch of friends. They've done their listening profile and we've compared ours against theirs. It's not as drastic as the flat profile to your one, but jumping from people's profile to profile, you can definitely hear the difference, and the technology is there, it's working, and it's pretty damn good. Another thing they're doing is the physical design of them is kind of weird. I've never seen a headphone like this before, where they've got the outer cup, just standard over-the-ear headphones, but on the inside they've got an earphone sort of nodule that's resting on your ear. And the theory there is that big headphones are really good at delivering bass and mid frequencies, whereas little earphones are great at delivering high frequencies. So when they've got both of those things going on, they can kind of push the audio to you in the optimum way. And with that, they've actually managed to sort of separate the bass. They've got this thing called Immersion Mode, where you can just slide up the bass to your heart's content. And man, when this thing's on 100%, it's really kicking into your ears. It's going hard. Even me, I like very bass heavy stuff, and even I'm sitting on 85% at a maximum, because 85 to 100 is just crazy. Might be good for gaming, if you're playing an FPS or something with explosions. Man, you crank these things to 100 and you're jolting. It's got a super strong effect. So yeah, man, these things are jam-packed full of features. They've got a microphone in them as well, a hidden microphone. So if you've paired it with your phone and you've got an incoming call, you can just answer that straight away. The microphone's not the best quality. I had some problems when it first came out. They did an app update or a firmware update to the phones. It made it a little bit better. I can get by with phone calls, but it's not the crystal clearest of quality, but it's there. It's super convenient when you're wearing the headphones, so that's cool. Because they've got the microphone there, they've got this other mode called social mode. So the microphone draws in sounds from the outside world and blends it with your music. So imagine you're sitting there listening to music and there's a plane announcement, or somebody walks up to your desk and wants to start talking to you. Instead of having to rip the headphones off, you can flick it into social mode, and it really draws your immediate sounds in really crystal clear. So me personally, if somebody comes up to me at work and starts talking, I'll flick it into social mode and I can hear them crystal clear. They sometimes look at me like, hey, I'm talking to this dude that has some headphones on, but I'm like, I assure you I can hear you crystal clear, because the microphone, I think it must boost the outside sound. I don't know how it works, whatever. It just works well. So social mode is very cool on these as well. Another little funny thing is those headphones, they've actually got this vacuum technology built in. And what I mean by that is they're this sort of plastic material or sort of rubbery material, those headphones. So you can imagine if you just had some rubber up against your ears, maybe after some time, half an hour, 2 hours, whatever that time may be, they'll get pretty hot because you've got this sort of rubber sort of sitting there. So they've got some slits into the rubber. I'll show you a close-up shot of this. They've got some slits in the rubber, and as the sound comes out, it actually vacuums. It sucks the hot air out. Once again, it's some wizardry, some stuff that these guys thought about, super clever on their behalf. And I've listened to these, I've had these headphones on for 5-6 hours on planes, or if I'm at work, I've worn them for lengthy amounts of time. I've never gotten too hot just from wearing these headphones in a controlled temperatured environment. Now, if I catch a train home and I walk through the harsh Australian sun, I'm definitely going to start sweating on these things. But because they're that rubbery texture, the sweat actually wipes off very, very easily. If you've got a meshed headphone or a nice materialed headphone, you can imagine the sweat's just going to soak into that, and you're going to have some trouble there. But the fact that you can just wipe it off super easy on these is great. They don't heat up on their own, so great choice and finish in materials there. So because I've had these for over a year now, I don't have the original boxes or anything, but I've definitely got the external case that the Nura comes in, which is actually very cool on its own right. So why don't we go through a little bit of a sort of unboxing there, where I show you all the bits and pieces, the USB cable, just the sort of like external packaging that comes with the Nuraphones, and then we'll finish off the videos with my final thoughts on the Nuraphones, how they hold up a year later. Alright, so here we've got the hardshell case for the Nuras. Really like the form factor here. I much prefer it over a soft case. I'm really chucking these into my backpack, so I know that the Nuras are very secure in there. I've got this magnetic clasp on the external case here. You can see it just snaps straight into place, so that's super handy. So on the inside here, we've got this little soft magnetic case as well, and inside this case I keep the main USB-A cable. Also got some replacement Nura tips there as well if I ever need them on the go. So here we've got the main Nura cable. It's got USB-A on one side, and on the other side we've got the proprietary Nura tip. Now you can use these to connect them to your PC or any other device that takes USB-A, but mainly going to be using this to charge the Nuras. So if you're not going to lose one cable, it's definitely this one. You're going to need these to charge the Nuras. So yeah, here are the replacement tips. You can just pop them out and chuck them on as you please. And like I said, this case has a magnet on the back side of it, so if I just throw it onto the case, it quickly snaps into place. So we've got a magnet on the outside of the case, we've got a magnet from this little soft case going into the pouch, and also on the rim of the Nura case itself, it also magnets into place. There's definitely a lot of technology and engineering that have gone into this unit and case. So yeah, this is what the bad boys look like. They're pretty good looking set of headphones. I really like the design. You know, they pretty much speak for themselves. So here you can get a good look at that Anova system. It's got that, you can see the big outer ear cup and that little ear nodule. You can also see those slits there for the vacuum technology I was talking about, how it sucks the air out. So that's what it looks like on the inside. On the side we've got these those little just sort of round framing things. Look, they're not really buttons, but they're capacitive touch buttons, so you can either tap them once or tap them twice. So you can map those things on the app to like volume up, volume down, play, pause. I've got mine mapped to go into social mode at a touch of a button, so you can just customize those however you see fit. So now that we've had a look at all that stuff, let's just finish up with what I think about the Nuras. I've just run a whole bunch of B-roll and we did that unboxing. Apologies if there's like dents in the unit. Apologies if there's a little bit of dust. I tried to clean them as best I could, but I've owned these for over a year now. There's only so much I can do to get these bad boys back to their pristine condition. So yeah, I just had a look at the Nura website and they're selling for $4.99. It's definitely not a super cheap sort of headphone, but if you're talking Bluetooth active noise cancelling, these are really in the ballpark of all their competitors. I might just post a link now to some of the top Bluetooth active noise cancelling headphones, and we'll see the sort of prices that they stack up against. When I talk about prices, I'm going to talk about them in AUD because we're living in Australia. $4.99 AUD is what the Nuraphones are selling for at the moment. The sound quality wise, I think these are super great. Everybody who I've shown these to and have gone through the process of doing their listening profile has also said they're just fantastic. I would, if I'm going to put my audiophile hat on for a little bit, I will say the sound is like precise and a little bit sterile. So I can definitely see some cynicism from the top-end audiophile world, and funnily enough, there has been a bit of cynicism there, but you know, who wants to be an audiophile? These things at a glance are super great. They deliver amazing sound for the common person. So sound-wise, great. They tick that box for me. Features, we've already gone through all the features, but there's a whole bunch of technology crammed into these. I don't really think you can get much more out of a set of headphones. They're giving you pretty much everything you could want in a modern set, so giant tick there for me as well. Fit and feel, I mean, we've already spoken about that rubbery texture for the headphone. It's great, not heating up when you listen to them. The general fit, it takes a little bit to put them on and kind of get that ear nodule in place, but once you've done it 10-15 times, you'll pretty much just get it as you put the ear cup on. For general walking around and sitting at your desk, they're totally fine. If you're sort of like going back and forth, you'll see there's a bit of like forward movement, but yeah, they're not like clamped to your head. They kind of just rest down. You know, I would say if I was to put it in numbers, the fit and feels like 8 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10. So pretty good job there as well. So I've just been saying how good the Nuraphones are. Let's just focus on a few detractors. So the proprietary cables, definitely not a fan of those. I've actually lost some since I originally got them. I opted for all the cables. So there's a bunch of USB ones, lightning cable. They're a little bit expensive off the Nura side. I mean, I can see why from their point of view they cost some money, but had they just gone with USB-C, you know, we could just buy universal cables and replace them. Now, it's not only the money that I have to like shell out to Nura to get these, it's kind of the hassle. Like if I'm going on holidays and I quickly want to grab some cables and I find that I don't have them, then I'm kind of out of luck because I need to order them from Nura directly. I can't just go to a foreign store and get a USB cable or, you know, things like that. So yeah, it's not just monetarily, it's kind of a hassle dealing with proprietary cables. Now, I really wish they had an on-off button and some sort of external LCD battery indicator. That would be super handy. When you pop the headphones on, it tells you how much battery life there is, and when you take them off, they just turn off themselves. There's been a few cases, very, very minimal. There's been a few cases where I swear they've been on like 70, 80%, pop them down, pick them up the next day or a day later, and they're just out of battery. So I can only assume that they've just stayed on that whole time. I don't know because I don't have an on and off button. I really wish there was one there. You know, it's pretty interesting. This company, Nura, they came out and made a whole bunch of claims. And, you know, I'm pretty big into Kickstarter. I've backed a whole bunch of projects. And a lot of the times they come out and they're massively subpar. They just don't live up to, they like kind of do what they're doing, but it's just like, you get the item and you're like, yeah, they're going to bring out a new one like straight away that's heaps better than this one. The Nura actually backed off and they held off getting their Kickstarter out the door because they wanted to put more and more features. I think the original ones didn't even have Bluetooth, so they held off and they were like, no, let's put Bluetooth into this. All their packaging is super premium. The case is premium. The headphones are pretty damn premium. So for a company to go from nowhere to bring out this sort of headphone is absolutely fantastic. It's been, what, 2 years, maybe 2-3 years since they originally started talking about the Nura to where we are today. There's still no talk of like a Nura 2, so they've really like put all their time and resources into this head unit, which is super cool to not have some new one surpassing it. Funnily enough, they have just announced their Nura Loop, which is sort of just an earbud sort of headphones. I'll talk about that in a sec. So overall, I'm really happy with this purchase. I don't know if there's going to be a new Nura 2 on the horizon, but right now, today, the Nuras are still a great purchase. You know, they're a specialized set of headphone. I'm pretty sure nobody's just going to go out and buy a Nura. You're going to do a bit of research. You're probably going to watch reviews like this. So I guess if my review can do anything, it's just that some dude picked them up and he really likes them still to this day in 2019. That's all I can really do for you. So yeah, that Nura Loop that they announced looks pretty promising. It's just a like earbud set of headphones. I can only imagine it does the listening profile. So even having like an earbud set of headphones would be great for running, great for use in the gym, just a sort of slim profile. If they're putting half the features into those that they put into this, I think they'll be a smashing success. Hey, maybe Nura can send me out a pair to review as well. Anyway, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. This is Phoenix Tech. Smash that like and subscribe button and we'll catch you on the next video.